All right, so today is Wednesday. It's June 27th, and on my way to a coffee shop. I'm going to do a little bit more sketching. I'm really enjoying the sketching thing. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for getting me back into sketching. I have a little bit of time to kill this afternoon before I go to class, which is just next to this coffee shop. So that's where I'm headed for today. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about why it is that I started making these videos. What's kind of the point, especially of doing this vlogging thing. So first, as probably a lot of you know, and as you may have even watched in the past, when I first came to China, I was doing videos. I had a video series called Life in the Middle, and it was basically the same format as this. I would go around and share different things, different experiences, and things that I was seeing and eating and doing here in China. And then I stopped. I was really busy at the time with my company, Linty Fresh, and that was really taking a lot of my creative juice. So the video thing I've been wanting to do for years, and it's only recently that the idea came back to me, and also Moa, she expressed some interest in doing something similar. I'm getting winded walking up this hill and talking at the same time. I'm out of shape. So that was one thing. But I think the other reason, and maybe a more personal reason for wanting to do this vlogging thing, is that after being here in China for so long, and it has been a really long time, I feel like a lot of people, foreigners that have been here, they start getting a little negative about their experiences here. Maybe they've experienced scams, maybe they've had some other bad things happen to them, or they start comparing this part of Asia with other parts of Asia, and that can really bring you down, and it can take away your joy. It can take away kind of your motivation for wanting to stay here. And I felt like that was kind of happening with me a little bit, and maybe to a lesser extent Moa too. So it felt like it was time for a change of pace. And then this idea of videos came back, and suddenly I was motivated again to be here, because in doing these videos, I'm taking the parts of my life that I feel are exciting, things that I do, my experiences that are worth sharing, and chronicling them and putting them in these videos. So it's kind of like the best parts, or the most interesting parts. And so that really gave me kind of some new perspective, I guess, on what I was doing here. It's kind of like bringing a friend along with you, you know, and that's how I feel when I have, you know, friends that come to visit, and I take them around, and even though they're places, you know, I've been to touristy spots, tourist traps that I've been to a million times, they're interesting again because you're seeing them through a fresh set of eyes. And so in doing these videos, I really feel like that's what it is. It's presenting my life here through a fresh set of eyes, your eyes. And that really has given, I think, new life to me being here, and it's certainly made it more enjoyable, I feel like. And the other thing is, I think living in China for a while, it's easy to become sort of withdrawn. And part of that is just the nature of the way a lot of Chinese people are. They're kind of private. They kind of are in their own worlds. And I think that's a lot of areas. A lot of different developed countries are like this too, probably the United States as well. But it gets to a point where you kind of start shutting people out. And by having this camera with me, I feel like it's kind of opened myself up again. So I'm more willing to maybe, you know, talk to other people, or just being more friendly, being more open, because I'm already being open with the camera. So it's interesting, there's been a lot of things that I didn't expect to experience by having this camera around, but I think it's been positive. It is some work, you know, some time I've had to invest in putting these videos together and editing and finding the music and uploading and all that. And of course there's a VPN issue because I'm here in China and YouTube is not accessible unless you have some sort of, you know, VPN or some other sort of software like that. So it does take some time and effort to put it together, but if you know me personally, you know that I'm always invested in some creative project. So by having this, if it wasn't this, I'd be doing something else. I feel like it's something that I need to do. I need to be creating content of some sort. That's just my personality. So this is what I'm doing now. Hopefully I do it for a while, but it's an experiment. I'm really enjoying learning YouTube, learning the ins and outs, and presenting things that, you know, hopefully you guys all find interesting. Anyway, this has been a long rambling thing that I didn't expect to get into such depth. But in any case, let's go do something interesting. We're gonna do some sketching at this coffee shop, and then I'm probably gonna take the sketch and give it to the owner of the coffee shop, because I know her, really nice lady, and yeah, maybe she'd like the decoration in her shop.扫我还是我扫你？
扫你。
好的。微信。
嘿，杰森。
嘿，你好。28。对。
好了，我把地址从电话加2期，我给你发送上。
还有一个小礼物送给你们。
啊？哇塞！
送给你们。
脸吗？是的。
就是。
你画的？
刚刚画了。
哇，谢谢。
可以拍你们的照相吗？这样。
今天长得不好看。
没关系，好看，好看。这个送给你们了。
哇，我要挂起来。
不需要。
哇塞，画太好看了。
好，我要上课，拜拜。
谢谢。
不客气。So that was really fun. I'm thinking of making this a regular thing, like if maybe every week or every 2 weeks I go out and find a different place to sketch, maybe at a park or at the beach or at the mall or wherever. If you guys think that's a good idea, if you think it'd be interesting to watch, let me know in the comments below, like this video. And if you have any suggestions for places you'd like to see me sketch, then put that in the comments as well. Alright, well that does it for this vlog. Thanks for watching.